cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. Happy Monday afternoon to all of you. 3:30 p.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. A good start to the day. Cash that under like it was nothing. You know, I was thinking this afternoon, we're going to look back at them offering us a 6.5 in a Minnesota Wild game in the future and think, what idiots. Thank you. You remember the good times we used to have with Minnesota Wild games and 6.5s? Feels very good. So basically, as it stands right now, if I don't make a move on this over 6.5, which I've been trying not to all day since it moved from 7 to 6.5 in baseball, if I don't make a move on 6.5, then I get the free roll tonight on the football game and, you know, win up 3.8 or I guess 360 and change and lose. And I'm down $20. So it's a pretty nice situation to be in. I feel very good. Also, our guy Guillermo Zertucci, who's a spectacular capper, he gave us a look on a race in Santa Anita. That race goes off in about 6 minutes. So 6 minutes. It's race 5 at Santa Anita. He gave us the 3-horse into their Zipper Mischief, I believe his name is. Let me just double check that. I believe it's Zipper Mischief. And this goes off in 5 minutes. And Zipper Mischief is at 9-2. So there's a chance to make a little bit of cash here. I'm thinking of going a $20 win place on Zipper Mischief. And then I'm going to hook Zipper Mischief up with the favorite in this race. They're talking about Zipper Mischief right now. Exciting stuff. So exciting stuff. And then they're coming up to the favorite right now. I've got this up on my TV. So we're going to have some fun in this show. Also, we have Drew Martin joining us in 22 minutes. And 20 minutes after that, we have Big Ragu in the house. So we're going to see early college looks, break down this final hockey game. Now, you know, I was sitting there thinking, you know what, why not roll on the over in the game tonight as a free roll? You know, with a chance to end up the night just up about 360 and change. And I was almost praying, you know what, it's so funny because it's early in the season, and I was almost praying that I didn't see Robin Lehner in that for the Blackhawks, because I would have taken the Blackhawks had I seen Robin Lehner. Still Corey Crawford, what the hell are they doing with Corey Crawford? All right, shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Alex Ramirez showing that hustle. Corey Simmons, 2-1 start to my day. Minnesota money line, Islanders money line. Nice job. Alfonso Acosta ready to go. Deer Slayer Ski says Devils killed me today. I thought they were going to take care of you. And then, you know, I guess there's just no trusting that goaltending whatsoever, sadly. Tobias Mickelson in the house. That's a dangerous ticket, but you're getting plus 120 at least. Jason Kelly on Green Bay first half. We're going to talk all about that. There's Andre Eric in the house. As we've seen, that total has gone up. Looked like I might have grabbed it at the absolute perfect time if I get that cash. Top set in the house. We got Deer Slayer Ski, Andre Eric, Lillian Pumpernickel saying, good thing. Sorry, let me catch back up. Good thing we didn't bet the Caps. They're down 4 in the first. Yeah, they're... Maybe that Avalanche team is just the best team in the show. But that's another situation like where we like fading a team coming back from a road trip. So remember that always. All right, how much time do we have here till post? Let me just quickly see this. 4 minutes till post, so we still got a little bit of time. Andre Eric ready to go. Christopher Comatini, Mukla Flair said like Atlanta, Charlotte tonight, and NBA, both plus money cashers. Jamal Stone says Bruins under, cost me a grip. Yeah, it was tricky. Christopher Comatine said, I took Jimmy's advice to look at power play, saw Avs scored almost 30%. They do. JF says, Jimmy, very surprised you weren't on Buffalo. I'm a little uncomfortable with Dallas as like a sleeping bear, sleeping tiger. And I don't want to be chock full of afternoon games. I traditionally don't do well with them. So I had the biggest edge, and I took it, and I'm up $181.82. So I feel fine. Look at Ski Profit tuning in from the bar for a change. Thank you for joining us, Ski. Enjoy your beverage, my friend. Barry McCockner in the house. We got the bartender back in action. Harry Dubitsky. Great to see you. Christopher Comatini catching that Panthers Devils over. Great job. AM says Jimmy's NHL picks me straight fire. I don't know if we can go that far, but we're winning. And we're moving in the right direction. And I'll be the first to say, look, I'm on fire. And we're on our way. There's Vuth Khan in the house, liking Detroit. Mook LaFleur. Anyone on the Blackhawks? I can't. Lillian Pumpernickel says, race 5. Yes, race 5, Santa Anita. So our horse that Guillermo Zertucci has done all the work for us. This race starts in 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and I haven't made my bet yet, so I will. Andre Eric says Lions are going to win. Ronnie Christie in there. We got Muhammad Joma says, you are nuts if you think the Lions have value here. You're right. They did have it at 6, but now, I love it. You don't porn a rat and a facty in the house. Our guy, you don't porn. Oilers for Sox over 6.5. Makes sense. Major Tom, longtime low bag listener. First time in the chat. Tailed your Minnesota Ottawa. Nice rocking chair win. Thank you. Thank you, Major Tom. I love it, my friend. Thank you so much for popping in the chat. It means a lot to me. Jeff Murillo, did you catch that under? I certainly did. Up $181.82 right now. But, it's not, the month has started pretty average. Big E, Muhammad Joma, Chad Costanza. What a great group. Chad Costanza, Ilya Katz, Diesel Eugene. All right, it is time to make a move here on this race. We have a minute to post. Let's do this here. All right, so I'm going to go to place bet. And how I'm going to handle this is I'm going to do a little $20 win place here. Wish I could show you guys myself doing it, but whatever. $20 little win place right here. You know what? I'll just, if it's glorious, I'll tweet it out. $20 win place on Zipper Mischief. Place bet, confirm bet. All right. And next bet, I'm going to switch the bet type to exacta. I'm going to move over to $5. I'm going to take the favorite in Zipper Mischief. And I'm going to boxaroo. And that costs $10. Confirm bet. All right, we are in action. We got $50 loaded in this race, and something I often do as well is let me just make sure that this is happening, and it's right there. Santa Anita, a race of 5, and those are the tickets. I'll just give you a quick look at these tickets. I don't know if this is going to work, but I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, maybe it's not going to work. Those are the two, the blue cancel spots. So we got a nice little spot here. We got 50 on the line. Let's get that cash right now. Now, let's take a look at who we're dealing with, too. We got Rafael Bejarano on the favorite, the 5-3 a.m. And we've got Agapito Delgadillo on our 3. Zipper Mischief, a 4-year-old colt from Harris Farms. Trainer Blake Heap in the house. Let's get after. He sounds over. I say it's my birthday and I'm on lines plus 4.5 for a K. Oh my God. Okay, but so right. Oh, there's Guillermo right there. So we're gonna get this paper right now. If you guys wanted to break down the games, we will do that very quick. But first, now we're going to check out this race. So let's see what you guys are saying. Tobias says betting on the horses. Yes, very much. Very much. Isan Solvagari, birthday, 4.5 plus 4.5 for 1K. Man, Isan Solvagari, I got to copy and paste that so I make sure I remember. There's my guy, Corey Simmons in the house. Corey Simmons. Okay, copy and paste that. Oh, what a race. This is going to be fun. Little turf race here for us. Okay. So we're taking Guillermo. So for those of you who weren't with us on the morning show, why don't we go over Teddy Covers' looks? These are stuff he's already got to the window with. And Eric's busy on the under 7. Got to feel good when that goes down to 6.5. Ron Lawson says, thanks for the Ottawa game Monday, Jimmy. You know what? It's one thing to win a bet. It's another thing when we go against the market move and just annihilate them, just destroy them. All right, so Teddy's on Duke plus 4. Sorry, let's make sure. Here we go. Duke plus 4, Central Michigan minus 10, Iowa State minus 6, Washington State minus 13.5, Northern Illinois minus 1.5, and Rice minus 3. Book 11 Q says Packers already did the annual shit the bed at home game. If they lose tonight, Rogers is going to have to shave that stash. Diesel Jean says, how about those Panthers coming back from down 4-1? Glorious. Very impressive. It was very impressive. Ed215 says, what's the look in this Edmonton-Chicago game? Yes, Neil Money, you can bet horses on Bet Online. All the books, people want you to bet horses because the take's always the same. It never changes. So they're always going to be pushing you to bet horses. Mama Jones says, hey, Jimmy, Vikings easy cash yesterday. I know the VR sent in there because of the music, but Vikings, man, their money at home. Great job. And here we go. Let's get after this right now quickly here, and let's get the volume up. Can I use volume? No?
Zipper Mischief.
Zipper Mischief, that's our horse, the 3. The 3 here. Okay, so no volume? No volume. Okay, I'm going to have to cut the volume off there. All right, Zipper Mischief is the 3. The 5 is the favorite, and that's who we're going to worry about. Hank Moody says, Jimmy, I need a bet you're confident with tonight, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely. But right now, let's get that cash with Guillermo Zurtucci taking us on to Zipper Mischief, the 3. Great start for Zipper Mischief, going right to the lead. This is a long race, so it's a mile in the corner, but man, that is a great spot right there. Zipper Mischief into the lead. Now we need slow fractions. We don't want Zipper Mischief to go out too fast. Oh, God, this is a nice spot. Please don't be too fast. Take your time, Zipper Mischief. Please take your time, Zipper Mischief. On post says, why can't you turn the volume up? There's rules about all that shit. Lamont Williams saying, St. Louis money line, Jimmy. I hear you. And there's Zipper Mischief in a great spot. And 22 and 4. That's too fast. That's too fast for an opening quarter. Makes me very concerned. I'm concerned about this. I would much rather that be a 23 and 4 rather than 20. That's a very fast opening on turf as well. Very, very fast. Von Polo says, don't get tired. I'm very concerned here. But we are 46 half. There's no way Zipper Mischief can keep this. You know what? Zipper Mischief, one of the best horses in the world on turf. I'm very, very uncomfortable. I don't see how I could possibly hold this. But we got the lead, and there's some horses coming up fast. I'm very, very, very concerned here. But we have the lead going into the stretch. Does Zipper Mischief have more in the gas tank? Tell me you got a little more, Zipper Mischief. Tell me you got a little more. Tell me you got a little more, Zipper Mischief. Keep fighting. Keep fighting, Zipper Mischief. Tell me you got more, Zipper Mischief. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Tell me you don't have any more. And that is that. And $50 goes poof. $50 goes poof. Okay. Let's get back to work here right about now. Okay. Guillermo is spectacular, though. I will roll with Guillermo every single time. He just ran too fast. You can't run a 46 half on turf. All right. Okay. Let's not get upset. Let's stay cool. You know, it's just a loss. We deal with losses all the time. All right. Dear Slayer Ski says, which I tell the under Jimmy and Ottawa. Thank you very much. Ronnie Chris says, I'm dying laughing. All right. Okay. Let's go right into baseball and look at this opening lineup and talk about how we are going to be hammering things right now. Get to rotowire.com. Oh, and I should also... Wait, do I have everything off there? I can't... Okay, yes I do. So we're going to disconnect there. All right. Let's stay focused. Ed says we need more of those. Colf Coleon says, Jimmy, leave the freaking horses alone. Okay, all right. Ben His Money says that's why I don't play with horses. Okay, come on. There's going to be lots of glory. There's losers popped in there. Okay, let's take a look at this Cardinals lineup. Fowler, Wong, Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Martinez, Molina, Edman, DeYoung. So all right-handed bats. Fowler's a switch hitter except for Colton Wong, the lefty. For the Nationals, Turner, Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Kendrick, Zimmerman, Suzuki, Robles. These are two teams that we're not going to see a ton of changes in their lineup. Lillian Pumpernickel says, did he even get third? I don't think so. And I stopped watching. Don't apologize, Guillermo. You put so much money in my pocket, man. It was all fun and a lot of fun. It still was fun, even though, okay, Chris Constantine says, leave the freaking horses alone. Okay, let's take a look at this market move and let's talk about it. So the total opens at 7. It's now at 6.5. Strasburg has not been taking as much money as we thought. I wonder if there was not a Monday Night Football game, would the public be hammering Strasburg in the Nationals? This total jumped from 7 to 6.5 at 1:44 p.m., and that's where it stands. It's been within 1 cent. It's open at 6.5 minus 114. It's there again. It's seen minus 113. It's seen minus 115. So, and Isan Solfagari has the biggest bet that we need desperately. Colf Coleon says, I'm on St. Louis under for what it's worth. Ronnie Christian says, Jimmy, hammer the Jazz with me. I cannot. Guillermo says, yeah, way too fast. He's a beautiful horse, but... All right. Andre Eric says, public hammering the Packers. We're going to talk about that shortly. But right now, let's talk about this ball game, Flaherty, Strasburg. I find that 6.5 extremely appealing. LMA, we could roll through every single record. We break my record into each and every sport, and we put up the record before every sport. So it's, baseball's bad. And right now I'm plus units in NHL, CFL, and WNBA, but I'm barely up in WNBA and which is over now. So CFL, I'm barely up thanks to Almax last weekend. So NHL's my best spot. Hank Moody says, Jimmy, what's your take on the Packers game over 9.5 first quarter and over 20.5 first half? I think there's going to be points. It's not windy. I understand. Oh, do we know? I've been trying to figure out if Darius Slay's going to be in the lineup all day, and does anyone know if there's going to be Darius Slay in the lineup? With 2 weeks off, we thought he was going to be in the lineup. On track to play Monday. On track to play Monday is all we have right now. So we do not know at this point. And we're going to talk about Darius. So we're going to talk all that. Right now, I find the 6.5 very appealing. I don't doubt that Flaherty and Strasburg are going to be lights out, but I find this over very appealing. Dom was interested in the over when it was at 7, and now it's at 6.5. The question is, do we make a move right now on it? 6.5. Joy Evang says, thanks for the wild sends under. My man, I faded those Devils. Jesus, they are bad. They are playing bad. And Raven in the Desert likes your first quarter over 9.5. So there you go. Look, I'm on the over. I got it at that perfect. Okay, let's get to baseball. Mukla Flair liking the halftime under. And remember what Mohamed Joma's been destroying with is these primetime games first half unders. But I don't see him talking about it here. Ski Prophet says, Jimmy, you don't see the Lions running the ball, and that's slowing the game down. Detroit run D isn't good. I do know that the Packers and Jones have been running wild, but the Packers do that to set up the pass. They run to set up the pass. It's not run to win the game. Everybody knows how you win the game is with Rodgers. Now, is it because the Lions set up pass defense and then Jones runs wild? The Rodgers is the biggest issue here, and we know what he can do with journeyman wide receivers. He can make them look very good. And I want to talk about it very badly. Mukla Flair says, don't take the over. Not Applicable says, can you get a refund for your New Jersey to win the cup, bet him? No, I can't. And there he is. Mohamed Jones says, tonight, I love the first half under. Gerald Martinez says, if Lions run, it will slow the pass rush. And look, Stanford has weapons. The Packers run D 3 weeks ago was not considered garbage. It was considered a strength. It's looked very bad in the last couple of weeks. Okay, everybody wants to talk football, so why don't we get into football right now? We have 7 more minutes. We also have one late game in the NHL, so why don't we touch on that? My fault for starting out with horses. I'm a gambler, and that was what I was gambling on, and I had to focus on that right now. Let's take a look at this quickly and get it out of the way, this Oilers Blackhawks game. There's been talk in the chat, and the chat's been right about taking overs every time the Blackhawks play. I get that. The Oilers are proud to be 5-0 and 3-0 on the road. I think they're going to play a little bit tighter to ensure that they keep that record with no blemishes. Keith Sadler, need the Packers -4 to go 5-1 on the pick 6. Great job. Great job. Ron Walsek, Rodgers over 260 passing yards, an early Christmas gift. Yeah, 4 straight Monday Nighters. He's gone over 300. Why wouldn't he do it here? That's a very interesting spot. Just because he's got no wide receivers. We've seen the guy make stars out of journeymen all the time. Melee Payless Way is on the Lions +4. Drinking Hand says, Ken Holland, Dave Tippett, Neil Smith, and last but not least, Connor McDavid, Pacific Division champs. You can still get 6-1 cash it. Look, McDavid, Draisaitl, spectacular. But I don't know. Eric Nisbet says, who's in net for the Hawks? Fake Rod. But I like your look, Drinking Hand, 6-1. You know? Ben's Money says, Ron Walsek, why? He's only done it once this season. I'm sure Ron thinks because all the cameras are going to be on him. I think it's because all the cameras are going to be on him. Daryl Lyles liking the Lions Packers under. We know the public has smashed this over, and it took a while for the markets to move. And we know the Sharps are on the under. You know, everybody sees what this situation is right now. And let's talk quickly about this hockey game, Oilers, Blackhawks, and then move to more important things. And sorry I'm all over the map. The heart pounding through my chest from horse races does not help. Okay, Edmonton, Chicago. So Chicago was up to minus 126. So there had been a 20-cent move to the Blackhawks on the morning show. So there's been 10-cent buyback on the Blackhawks, and I'd be with them. I'd be with them if Lehner was in goal. Silver Malco says, Jimmy, I think the Packers are here for a revenge game after losing to Detroit last year at home. They've been losing to Detroit a lot, and that was the revenge factor is exactly why Teddy Covers is on these Packers. Exactly why he's on these Packers. Mama Jones says, the only reason why I don't put a grand on the Pack minus 3.5 is because of how shady this line is. And these shady lines have been killing me. Ben is Money saying everyone is on the over. In our chat, we have far more people on the under than the over. Far more. Keith Sadler says the Oilers seem for real. My Blackhawks need that first win. Maybe it's not coming tonight. Daryl Lyles on the Blackhawks and the over. This Oilers team is rolling. And I was shocked that Lehner wasn't going to get the start. Mike Smith getting the start in net for the Oilers. And he's 3-0, 2.67 goals against average, 907 save percentage. He's been okay. 8 goals on 86 shots. I mean, to think that the Blackhawks can't win a game and they're averaging 3 goals per game, it just shows how bad they are defensively, which is facts. Ed, 215. Our guy Ed in the house, like in Jimmy Graham, first TD, plus 1,200. Man, that's a nice look. Ski Prophet says, without Adams and Lions off the bye. I can understand why. First half. So Ski Prophet, first half or full game under. Well, it was a good thing waiting. All right, so look, I'm not making a move on this Edmonton-Chicago spot. I'm up $181.82, now $131.32 on the day. But all said and done, I feel comfortable getting a somewhat of a free roll here tonight. And I don't want to put that in jeopardy with a Blackhawks team that I have no idea what they're going to do. Rem Mo says Edmonton minus 1.5 worth a shot. I get it. Dom Ricci, Blues got me, minus 135. Yeah, the Islanders had a big third period comeback. The Islanders have been a very tricky team to cap so far this year. A very, very, very tricky team to cap, and I'm going to stay away from them. I just feel lost looking at them. All right, there's Oilers, Blackhawks right there. This Oilers team has come from behind in 5 straight games, something we can look for moving forward. But I don't know tonight. This is the end of a long trip. A long road trip. There's DJ Big Boss in the house. Christopher Comentini on the Blackhawks team total over. Yeah, sure. I mean, I can definitely understand the Blackhawks team. Bookie Lover Q saying, Rogers makes miracles happen against the division. This is my division. I cannot fade Rogers nor back to Detroit. I don't see an edge. NHL parlay bagger on the first period over in the Chicago game. I'm sure that's been cashing huge. All the overs in these Blackhawks games make a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense to go over 6.5. It really does, but I'm not going to pull the trigger here right now. These Blackhawks need to win desperately. Crawford needs to step up. Keith Sadler says probably the over is a safe bet in Hawks Oilers, and I get it. I agree with him. But I'm not going to make that move. Look at Prince of the City dropping his tennis plays. Keep an eye whenever he drops in and gives his tennis plays. He is just dominating right now. Lamont Williams says, what's the taint play? We did not receive a taint play this morning, I believe. The Taint had a rough weekend, and Taint is relaxing right now. Taint is healing. Taint is healing. So no Taint play. All right, let's get into football. We're going to have Drew Martin joining us. We're going to ask him about baseball and football. He's going to be joining us in a minute here. Prince of the City says you've been pulling it all day. Pulling it. Oh, you've been pulling it all day. Pull it again. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Donkey Cabby says, damn, Prince is barking. I love Prince, man. Prince destroying and fading his Eagles right now. And alternative lines and cashing. I absolutely love it. There's Buffo on the beat. We've been waiting to hear from Buffo on the beat. The king of props joins our chat. Buffo on the beat, a.k.a. Bill Buttlicker. Lions have won and covered in each of the last 4 meetings with the Pack, including a 31-0 win as a 7.5 point spread dog in their last over in 6 of the last 7. Lions and over, says our Buffo on the beat. DJ Big Boss says it's a swollen taint. Yeah, it's beat up. It's not feeling good. Viper MB says, what's good, Jimmy? I can't catch the early show now because of work. Damn, Viper MB. But much love to you. Sometimes you got to work, man. Sometimes you got to get that work. But much love to you, Viper MB. We went against the market and took the under in Ottawa, Minnesota, and cashed that by 4.5 goals. Felt very good. JM says Pack won't lose back-to-back primetime games. I thought the last primetime game wasn't it Dallas? Yes, I agree with you, Ramos. There's Michelle Wynn in the house. Says Rogers only played in 3 of those 4 games. Oh, Michael, sorry. Sorry, my fault. Excuse me, Michael. Michael Wynn says Rogers only played in 3 of those 4 games. Michael's right. Michael's right. But still, the Lions seem to have the Packers number of late. We are going to be calling Drew Martin right now and see what he has to say about all of this. Thank you for joining us. Michael Wynn in the house. Michael Wynn in the house. I don't care that there's no Devontae Adams. Sure, I'd like him, but I don't care. And when I look at this total at 47 at almost all the books, Bet Online hanging a juice 46, bookmaker at 46.5, I'm confident. I love beating the line move. I love getting in when I did. I feel great. Eric Swell says, what do Canadians eat on Thanksgiving? Beaver. We eat beaver. Canadian Thanksgiving. Beaver's delicious. Rico Roxa says, I've only seen a few Green Bay fans call him overrated. That's usually because they idolize Favre and hate that he's better than it. Interesting. Buffalo on the Beat says, Packers only 2-5 against the spread over their last appearances on Monday Night Football. DJ Big Boss, 4-1 in the pick 6 with Green Bay -4 to go. DJ Big Boss, you and Ragu were smashing all weekend. Great stuff. All right, we are going to bring in our guy, Drew Martin, to the show. We got some giant games in NFL and MLB, and we need to hear his early looks in NCAA football. Please welcome to the show, coming to us live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Drew Martin in the house. Drew Martin, how are you doing on this Monday afternoon, my man?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday to you. I'm enjoying this Canadian Thanksgiving. Our neighbors to the north, you yourself, happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Drew, I have no idea what we're having some sound problems here right now. Maybe it's fixed. Yeah, it's fixed. Drew Martin, can you give me just a little bit of that again? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jimmy. Our neighbors to the north, Canadian Thanksgiving. And, overall, Monday Night Football, college football up as well. So breaking down the openers, what's up to the low bag chat box. And any Canadians out there, happy Thanksgiving. Hope all is well.
Very kind to wish us up north a happy Thanksgiving. Let's get right after it. We got some giant games, and we want to hear your early looks. How did you end up doing? I saw, because a lot of the looks that I'd written down, you cashed. Was it a good weekend for you?
Yeah, right before I got on, I heard you say Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss, kill it. You left me out, bro. And it's no secret. I moved to Vegas for so the football season in the beginning was tough. And, some weeks I was really only betting, 2-3 games and just going low volume. I didn't exactly feel right. So to have a big weekend like this, and I'm up 1 unit on the season now. So hopefully getting out of the negative, and it propels me to a huge, conference, college football. When it gets to conference time, as I know a lot of sports bettors out there know, it kind of changes things. So it becomes a little bit of a different handicap. And to start it off with a bang this weekend felt nice, man.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Because you had, let me go over some of your looks. Because I was trying to go over them this morning, and what I had written down were all winners. Because you were with FAU, FIU. Can you go over some of your looks? I've got pages and pages and pages of notes. I'm hard to find them all. Can you go over review some of your winners this past weekend?
I guess to get it all, I'd have to pull up my account, but just off the top of my head, FAU, FIU both cashed. UNLV, Vandy under the total, stayed way under. Also looking towards UNLV under again this weekend. Some other looks out there. Navy, Navy went on a bashing there. We had some others. Arizona State late. Not that it was necessarily the right side, but Washington State. Something to keep in mind. Something's going on there on the defensive end, and the defensive coordinator was shown the door. Starting to think of some of the other ones off the top of my head, Jimmy, and. I guess in the SEC, seeing LSU kind of cover there at the end, it wasn't a game that I bet big, but it's something I was looking towards. The market was onto that in terms of Florida just being in a tough spot, but tough to say that one was absolutely the right side as well. 13.5 and what it landed at 14. Always good. Always a nice reminder to get good numbers.
Absolutely. Because on Wyoming, I lost by a half point. In Missouri, I lost by a half point. So I jumped on that Vandy UNLV under that you guys talked about, and I was very thankful to it. That I had a bad week in NCAA football, but I've already I hit in the under in the Wild Senators game this morning, and we went against the market move and we smashed it. It went from 6 to 6.5. We took the under. There was 2 goals scored in that game, so I was up 180, 182. I just gave $50 back at the beginning of the show on a horse race at Santa Anita, but still sitting up 131 feels good. And I'm on this NFL game tonight. Let's start with MLB. There's not a lot of talk about this game, and I'm close to making a move on this over 6.5. I may not. I may stay off because I'm just getting destroyed in the baseball playoffs right now, but I find it appealing here. I think that the Cardinals bats got to wake up at some point. Strasburg's been so good, 2.40 ERA, 0.80 whip in the playoffs. But 6.5 is so low, Drew. Are you making a move on this Cardinals-Nats game?
You're right. I was thinking actually towards the under, but I haven't bet the total. I just think Strasburg and Flaherty, and we've seen it in the MLB playoffs. I mean, some of these starting pitchers can dominate, and we've seen it in years past as well with the starting pitchers just dominated in the playoffs. So that made me look towards the under. I haven't bet the total. Plus the fact, just in last night's game or the Astros and Yankees, there was 12 innings pitched with the bullpens actually being lights out. So for whatever reason, this time of year, pitching dominates, and it makes me look towards the under. I haven't bet it. Sidewise, I like the Nats too, but I actually think it's kind of correctly priced. So I didn't bet the MLB playoffs, but I did bet the NFL Monday night game.
Well, we'll get to that very soon, but 68 Fahrenheit, 4 miles of wind. It's a beautiful night, clear. Nikki Shore says Jimmy Bruins will be tough to beat this year in the East. Thoughts on Boston futures? In all honesty, Nikki, I expect them to get tired at some point in the season, not getting a full off season. But they're a very good hockey team. And so there's nothing wrong with putting a Bruins ticket in your pocket. But I would certainly only take them to win the Cup because they don't need to win the division to be dangerous. So I would only take them to win the Cup to get that big spot. I find this over appealing. I really do. The Cardinals right now against righties, 196 with a 531 OPS. I mean, that's not going to stay. It just can't stay. I don't expect that to stay like that. Christopher Comtine says 2 lights out pitchers, no way. Ed, 215 on the first 5 under. And Dom Ricci did pull the trigger on that over 6.5. Dom Ricci up 12 units in the playoffs alone right now. What do you think about making a move against that terrible Nats bullpen and taking the over 6.5?
I mean, I lean under. I just think that, Strasburg has the ability to go deep in this game and kind of dominate the Cards lineup. But at the same time, Flaherty, I think he has the ability to do the same against the Nats lineup. So I actually lean under, man, but it's not something, I feel strong about. If somebody has a strong case for the over. And yeah, the Nats bullpen is always a question mark. It seems like sometimes in big spots they do find ways to get outs, and Strasburg, the ability to go deep in the game. So those are things that point me towards the under, Jimmy, but I don't have a bet on it as of right now.
I went against the market move in hockey, but I really had to, okay. God, I was very close to pulling the trigger. All right, let's move on to Monday Night Football, Lions, Packers. This morning, so the wind on Tuesday, when I looked at the wind, look ahead Monday night, 16 miles an hour. When I looked at the wind this morning, 4 miles per hour. That's how bad the wind was off on Tuesday. 41 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 miles per hour wind. I look at this total at 45 and was like, it's too low. I went over the 45 this morning. I got 45.5 in my book. And we know what's happening here. The public smashing the over. The sharps are on the under. And I can't wait to hear what you are doing in this game. Monday Night Football, Lions, Packers.
Yeah, and from everything I've seen, it looks like really good weather outside of Lambeau Field. So I great job on beating this little move towards the over, Jimmy. Plus the fact, Teddy went over something with me in terms of in October, the line moves in the NFL aren't always the percentage-wise the right move in terms of comparing them to September and then also in November and December. For whatever reasons, the quote-unquote sharps aren't as sharp in the month of October because, they're betting more of what the team should be instead of what they are. So it's something to keep in mind, I guess, this year as well in the next 2 weeks. But I went at this one because Green Bay. Oh, wow. And the market has moved a little bit. Fours are now starting to show up, but I bet them -3. I did buy it for -130, Green Bay -3. So I bought that half a point off of 3.5. And a couple reasons why, mainly because this is going to be the best defense that the Lions offense have faced all year long. And I think they're actually going to struggle moving the ball. I don't necessarily like it enough to bet the under because I do think Green Bay is going to score, obviously pointing me towards the Green Bay side. And we get the better quarterback at home, and to be able to buy him down to that key number of 3, I think the Packers side is worth a look here. I just think it's short. I mean, I know you got to tip your cap to what the Lions have cashed 3 games in a row in terms of winning ATS. There's something to that. Obviously, their last time in Lambeau, they blew out the Packers, but not sure how much I put that into that. That was last year, week 17. So, being able to get the Packers at -3, -130, I feel confident in it.
Yeah, I find it difficult to back the Packers here, and everything is pointing for Patricia to show he can coach. Getting the extra rest, the extra week to prepare, and now he gets a chance to step up. Now, I'm not going to take the Lions. I know what Rodgers does on Monday nights, and the Packers have looked very, very good. There's no doubt about how good the Packers have looked. Cream of Wheat Jones says Lions will cover, but don't be surprised if they win outright. Mama Jones says just too fishy. I just can't go heavy on Green Bay. Gerald Martinez says Green Bay's defense haven't faced good offense. Its only one was Philly. Dallas sucks. So there we go. We have our Drew Martin backing the Packers on -3. What did it cost? -125?
I had to pay -130. I kind of felt a little, I guess you could say dirty paying -130, but I had to just because I could see it, landing on that 3 and being really pissed off. So Packers -3, -130.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd want to take the Packers at -3, and that was the whole thing that Teddy was debating this morning, whether to pay for the -3 or not pay and take him 3.5, and he decided 3.5 would be the move. So we'll be thinking about you guys tonight. We are going live. I will be joining Flash live. I will be sitting right beside him. Jay from the Sports Keg will be there. Ant will be there, as well as Maxwell Smart will be there as well. Lamont Williams says Detroit money line. That's Lamont Williams' big play. And I hear you, Fat Fist. Connect with me and we can talk about it. Just DM me and I can figure that out. I hate hearing that, so I'll see what we can do. Okay, well, I've made a decision. I am taking the over 6.5 in tonight's ball game. I'm getting -115 at 5 dimes. And I am going against the market move on this beautiful night in Washington. All right. We're in, Drew. We're in, buddy. Okay, let's get into NCAA football. And first off, let me pitch some of Teddy's plays to you. I'd love to do that real quickly. Let me do that. Let me pull up NCAA football here. Teddy's first look on the card is, and I want to hear your look, so I don't want to spend too much time, is the Duke spot. Duke, and he got 4, and there's no longer 4s available. Why can't I find Duke right now? Man, you know what? Maybe let me. Oh, yeah, Duke, Virginia.
Top
Duke,
of the card.
Yeah, 317, 318. He grabbed Duke +4. There's still a couple 4s on the board. What do you think of Duke, Virginia?
I have this one circled. It's not one I bet as of right now, but I'm with them. I think the Dukies, well coached. Not that Virginia isn't. These are 2 good coaches going up against it. We get the +4 with the Duke side. I think there's something wrong here with the Virginia offense. We saw it against Miami. They just can't throw the ball down the field, and I think that kind of the secret's out. Stop their run game, kind of spy the quarterback, and they have a really tough time moving the ball. They do go back home, and you can always regroup. And they will have a little bit of extra time to prepare. That Miami game was on a weeknight. So those are things kind of pointing towards the Virginia side. I lean with Teddy though, especially getting the +4. I like the Dukies, man. And going back a couple years now, they've been a great bet. So I'm not going to talk you off of Duke.
Not going to talk us off of Duke. Let's talk about his another look that he has on his card, and that is Washington State with the 13.5 against Colorado. What do you think about Teddy's look there?
I don't like Colorado at all. I mean, we've seen the Buffs go kind of on a down spiral here, so I'm with them on that. It's just Washington State. They get rid of the DC. They don't necessarily look good on defense without him with the change there, so they're not necessarily a bet on either. This is kind of fade both ways. I got both of these two teams circled as fade, so I don't necessarily disagree with them, Jimmy, but I find it hard-pressed for me to be on Washington State at any time this week.
Not going to back. They're a tricky cap. There's no doubt about the fact that they are a tricky cap. Let's take another one of Teddy's plays. He's been backing Central Michigan week in and week out and succeeding, and he's going right back to the well. At Bowling Green, he's got Central Michigan. He got them at 10. This morning they were 10.5. Now they're 12. What a move by Teddy Covers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're talking Bowling Green here. I see what he's doing. And you said that he actually was betting Central Michigan multiple weeks, or is this just a fade on Bowling Green?
No, he's been backing Central Michigan.
Interesting. Okay, because I mean, I've had Bowling Green as necessary, just a fade candidate here, although they did come back against Toledo and win this past week. So I'm with them in terms of fading Bowling Green. I think that they do fall back for whatever happened this week against Toledo. I haven't seen the game or the film at all, but I'd be interested in how that game actually went down. They did win 20-17 over Toledo, so you got to tip your cap there. Central Michigan's a good team, in comparison to the MAC, in terms of talking MACtion. I like it. However you want to refer to betting on Bowling Green, I like to refer to it as, the close your eyes special. Just bet the other team when you're playing against Bowling Green. So I'm with them. I mean, I like the Chippewas.
Another spot, and you know what? We should move on and hear your looks. Look at him smash these market moves. Wow. He took Rice at -3. There's already a 5 on the board, or 4.5. He's backing Rice, says this is their chance to get the win at UTSA.
Yeah, UTSA is not very good. The Roadrunners, they lost again this past weekend, I believe, to UAB. I'm not sure on that, but I do remember making a mark in my notes that UTSA is a one-way bet, and that's fade only. Rice, their defense has been a lot better this year, but not a team that I've been involved with a lot, so don't have too much to say on that matchup.
Well, let's get into your, and Big Ragu says, and they suck, too much love for Central Michigan. Let's get into your looks, Monday looks, and we have Drew on the show as well tomorrow. So let's go. What are your first looks on this card?
Yeah, we can break it down. And do want to give a shout out to the closing line, Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss, and Ian Cameron, 4-0, 100% on the best bets this weekend. So we're doing it 11 a.m. Throughout the college football season on the YouTube channel. So join us on Saturdays, 11 a.m. Shout out to those guys. We got Lafayette, Arkansas State, the weeknight game in the Sun Belt, Jimmy. I like Lafayette here. The Ragin' Cajuns, I think that the market is giving a little bit too much respect to Arkansas State, mainly because, when you think of Sun Belt and the teams that dominate in the Sun Belt, it's Arkansas State and it's App State. And this year, Arkansas State is banged up. It's not the same type of team. They lost to Georgia State. I know that they do get extra preparation time for this game to supposedly be, healthier. I don't know if I see it. I don't know if it changes too much. And they're going against the Lafayette team that, in my opinion, is power rated, in the top 2 of the Sun Belt. So I think under a touchdown here. They are on the road, which is a tough ask, but still, I like the Ragin' Cajuns in the weeknight game. I also like FAU on Thursday night over Marshall. This FAU team, the Lane Train, they've been cashing week in, week out the last few. And I explained it, last week of why I like the Owls, Jimmy, and mainly because throughout the first 2 weeks, they lost to UCF and Ohio State, quality losses throughout the first 2 weeks. I think that's the toughest schedule throughout the first 2 weeks. And then since then, they've been cashing in their D1 opponents. I see it again here, minus under a touchdown against a Marshall team that, their quarterback is pretty good. He can make plays with his feet, but they're not what they were supposed to be in the preseason, in my opinion. I think Marshall's a little bit overrated, and they have to go down to Boca Raton, to back-to-back road games, I believe. Either way, it's in Boca Raton, under a touchdown here. I think FAU rolls.
FAU, another look. These are the weeknight games from Drew Martin, and he will be joining us again on Tuesday and Friday to go over these looks. Louisiana Lafayette, and FAU. Anything else you're looking at early in the week?
The other Friday night one, UNLV Fresno State. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Was on UNLV Vandy under. That UNLV defense looks improved. We saw it against Boise State. We saw it against an SEC team. Not that Vanderbilt's very good, but I'm going to keep riding this train. UNLV, the Running Rebels, they're doing something defensively that's really working. And I think Fresno State, they're going to be able to do enough to slow them down. So seeing this total in the mid-50s, I'm going UNLV under again.
UNLV again, and that cash for me too. Thank you for that. Those are 3 looks that we have Thursday, Friday. And have you taken a stab at Saturday's card? Will you be able to do that for us tomorrow?
Oh, I've taken a stab, but if you want to make the people wait till tomorrow, whatever you want to do, Jimmy.
No, I don't.
You're sailing this ship.
I would love to hear your early looks on Saturday, so then we can talk about them more tomorrow. What are your early looks on the Saturday card?
Okay, looking to keep fading the Zips, the Akron Zips. I don't think the market has necessarily, priced them correctly. Going against a Buffalo team that's pretty talented, laying 17.5 on the road is always a question in the MAC, but still, I did it. I like Buffalo minus 17.5. Got that Central Michigan game circled. I haven't bet it yet now that it's up to 12, but still fading Bowling Green. UCF versus ECU. UCF is a program. I've been betting on them for quite some time now, Jimmy, and they have lost a couple in a row here. But going against a defense that I think is going to have trouble against UCF, I have it circled, haven't bet on them as of right now, but 32.5, I would look towards UCF. Let me give you one that I also bet here. One last one. Got a Tulane versus Memphis. Oh, Jimmy, this is team favored, man. I've watched every game from both of these two teams, Tulane and Memphis, and Tulane's better. Tulane's better up front. Tulane's got the better quarterback. Tulane's got the better offense. Tulane's got the better coach. They are on the road, but still, -4 Memphis. Watch out if you like that Memphis team. I know that they're, the sexier name over the last couple years. People think of college football, they think of Memphis before they think of Tulane. So watch out for that. The market might move on that. But I can tell you in the trenches, Tulane's the better team, and that's the biggest bet on the board for me. Tulane plus 4.5 if you can find it. Market's mostly down to 4 now.
Yeah, mostly 4. Bet online still hanging the 4.5. I like it. So we are locking in looks. We've got Monday looks from Teddy Covers. We now have Monday looks from Drew Martin, Louisiana Lafayette, FAU, UNLV, Fresno under, Buffalo, UCF, and Tulane. And soon we will get the Monday looks from the Big Ragu. I love it, Drew. Thank you so much for joining us, my man. And can't wait to see you back here tomorrow. Do follow Drew on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Follow him and his adventures in Las Vegas now that he's moved there. Drew, what a treat it is to roll with you. We have Drew Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And then, Drew, tell us a little bit about the big closing line show on Saturday.
Yeah, closing line, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, each and every Saturday on the YouTube channel for SBR. Come join us, Big Ragu, DJ, Big Boss, and Ian Cameron and myself off of a 4-0, 100% best bet day. It's always fun, so come join us on Saturday mornings. Jimmy, best of luck to you, man. Always fun, and shout out to everybody in the chat box, Bookie Lover Q, Paco Healy, all you boys. I know I'm forgetting a lot. Dom out there as well. So, guys, best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you so much. There he is, Drew Martin, back in the pack. And -3, Drew Martin in the house. We go from Drew Martin to the Big Ragu, the sauce. From the boss and the sauce. Big Ragu, how you doing on this Monday evening? Oh, we have just lost Ragu. Okay, we have just lost Ragu. It was all looking so good there for a second. And we'll see if he comes back shortly. All right, so we have looks from Drew Martin. And man, did Teddy smash these market moves. Unbelievable. Did Teddy smash these market moves? We're going to see what other ones, because he got, I guess Washington State hasn't moved yet. Washington State, let's take a look and we can find out what this Iowa look is as well. Iowa as well. And that's going to give me a chance to do a couple things from the line shopping persuasion here. Wow, look at this. So Rice, he got it -3. It's now 4.5. Okay, we're good to go. Okay. And then I'm going to keep looking at some of these line moves that he smashed on Monday. Just getting tickets in his pocket. Very impressive. I'll pull them out while we have the Big Ragu in the house. Big Ragu, my man, thank you for joining us. How are you doing on this Monday evening?
It's Fun Day Monday, my guy. What's happening with you?
All's good. We got off to a nice start by hitting that under. Gave a tiny bit of it back at Santa Anita, but that's how she goes. And sitting here up $131 is fine. There's Jamaican Gandhi in the house. Love to hear from you. Are you making a move on this NLCS Strasburg Flaherty game?
Yeah, I made a move. I made a commitment, actually, before the series started with Washington. If we came up against Flaherty, that was going to be a pass for me on that game, but I think he's got a little value to him. But I'm big on the Nats for the series as a whole. But I'm going to take a different look on this game altogether. These games they've gotten deep into the games. The bullpens haven't given up hardly nothing, and I think this could be the game where we might see a few runs either way on both sides. So I took the second half over 3 for this. I'm hoping they kind of get into the bullpens a little earlier tonight. Maybe not the 7th, maybe around the 5th, 6th inning, and maybe we put a few runs on the board.
I have made a move on the over 6.5. So I think your second half over 3 is a better look than my 6.5. Now that I think about it further, great look. Second half over 3 from our Big Ragu. Big Ragu. Let's move over to Monday Night Football. Pack Lions. I got the over at 45 early. There is money coming back in on the under. Muhammad was right. There's been like an 11-cent move on the under while it stayed at 47, which I get. I get it. People like the den. There is a couple 4s, just a Bovada and 5 dimes. Just a Bovada and 5 dimes, so nothing big there. But let's see right now. Let's go to this total. And wow, okay, sorry, money coming back in on the over again. So when Mom and Joma mentioned that there was money coming in on the under, we had seen a 9-cent move towards the under from 3:21 p.m. night. So from an hour and 2 minutes ago until 15 minutes ago, and then 11 minutes ago we just saw a 4-cent move back to the over. What's your move on Monday Night Football, Big Ragu?
My first move was to try to get involved with taking the bigger number, which that's gone now. So I know Patricia has kept our guy under wraps. Rogers, I think they're 0 for 4 the last 4 with him, and they're not scoring a lot of points. This new system though is starting to work a little bit better for the floor. They get a little more production, but they're still hurting for the weapons, to stretch the defense. And they had some tough. I think Green Bay had the better opponents overall. Go against opponents. The one common denominator had the Eagles, and Green Bay. I think they lost, and Detroit's beating the Eagles. So I think the game. I like the under here. I think they're both going to try to establish a run. They both got pretty decent run defenses. Passing wise, I'll give the edge to. I'm going to give the edge to the Detroit on the pass D versus the Green Bay Packers. So I think it's going to be a under type game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of ball stretched down the field. If anything comes into play, it might be special teams and turnovers. But either way, I still like the under. I think I'm going to roll with the under 46.
Under 46. And right now there are 47s available. If there is running, both Stafford and Rogers are play action specialists. I'm pretty comfortable with the 45 here. When I was capping this game earlier in the week, I thought there was going to be wind issues. There are none. It's a nice night. I know it's a little cold, but do not like being heads up with our Big Ragu. And we know it's a public versus sharp situation here. Sharps are on the under and the public is on the over. I took the over at 45. Farshad Asami leaning over tonight. I just think this is too low for these two spectacular quarterbacks. Mohammed Joma says Detroit's slow pace. Love the first half under. Mohammed been eating on those first half unders. So that's where
that's good.
Say what, Ragu?
No, that's good. There's a lot of two-way action there. So, it could fall like right in the middle. It could be like a 45, 46, 47-point game. So depending if you like the over, bet it. Hopefully you got it in on the right numbers. It's like Teddy always says, you don't want to be at the ass end of the number. As long as you beat the closing number, then you did what you had to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Don Reach is saying it's 47 now. So, Don Michi, and let's see, looking at Don in the chat. Our Big Ragu is on the second half over 3 in the big NLCS game, as well as backing the under in tonight's Monday Night Football. All right, we've heard the early NCAA looks from Teddy Covers. We've heard the early NCAA looks from Drew Martin. And now we get Big Ragu coming off a big, successful weekend. Great work, by the way. Let's keep it rolling. What's jumping out at you on this NCAA football card?
We're going to look at some Friday night light action. I'm not on anything for the Thursday game, but the Friday game, I got a couple looks here. The one look I'm definitely going to be on is this Buckeyes and Northwestern game. Now, we know the Buckeyes are a machine, but I think Northwestern, they got a lot going on in conference as a dog. I think they're like 11-0 the last 11 games, ATS, against the opponents in the Big Ten. And I kind of like that look a little bit. I think it's pretty, you need better than 4 touchdowns to cover that number right now. And I think Northwestern could keep it under 3 touchdowns. So I got a real strong lean on Northwestern, not to get blown out. They're going to lose the game. I don't think there's no way they're going to beat Ohio State, but I think they can stay within 4 scores of this game here. And that's a look I got going on right now. And the other look I'm looking at is Pittsburgh and Syracuse. Now, early in the year, now we're in the middle part of October, so a lot of these coaches, we talked about DeVito being a rough quarterback for them to start the year off. I think he's kind of settled in now. Pittsburgh's kind of leaning the other way. They played their tough games early. Now they're starting to get into their big conference plays, and that's a line that's kind of been going back and forth. Right now we're looking at 3. And I know they're going up to the Carrier Dome to play that game, which is usually a tough place to play for opponents coming in. You could ask Clemson and other teams that's been there, but they got Pittsburgh -3. I think the Orange can squeeze this game out. I'm not going to money line it, but I'm definitely going to take the Orange plus the 3 points here.
Orange plus the 3. So we're seeing the first looks from our Big Ragu right here. Let's start with that first look at Northwestern. We saw Northwestern at home play Wisconsin tough. After watching them play Wisconsin so tough, a team you're high on, is that what kind of helped you move towards this look on Northwestern against the juggernaut Buckeyes?
Yeah, they're just a good look. That was one of the reasons, that's an underlying factor there. But I just like the look that this team brings at home in a tough conference game. Even though we know Ohio State's a train, they're going to bring their A game, no doubt. But they're going to be up against it without question. But yeah, I do like this Northwestern team just because of the number. I got it about 8 points less than what it should be. So I'm getting better in a touchdown, and I'm going to run that look.
Yeah, I get it. I get why you would back them at 28, and there's even I guess that's Bovada, the 28.5. And then let's move to your look on the Orange at home. So 2 looks on Friday night back in the Orange, plus 3.5 here. Speaking of actually each game, let's start with the Ohio State Northwestern total for a second. It opened at 48.5. It was juiced to the under. We've already seen it creep up to 49 and 49.5 at Bet365. What do you think of the total in Ohio State Northwestern?
That's another reason why I love Northwestern, because I think that really correlates to Northwestern playing, even though we know Ohio State's defense is going to bring it, I think they can slow them down enough to kind of keep them close to the to the total, but I wouldn't say it would be a dead under. But if you like the under, I mean, if the actions lean that way, that's telling me that the Sharps are probably going to be on Northwestern in this game. So I wouldn't lean under or over either way, but I would just use that to gauge the side that I would be on.
And then on to the Syracuse Pitt total on Friday evening. That's another one that's creeping up. That opened up at 50. It's now at 51.5. What's your feel on the total in that spot?
Pitt's a pretty good defensive-minded squad. I know Orange has been bringing it up a little bit. They've been getting pretty good quarterback play. They've been able to score some points. And Pitt has been so much in a letdown mode the past couple of weeks. A little bit of vulnerability there. So I would lean over in this game. I think the Orange is probably going to get 30-plus points here, and maybe Pitt, they kind of match them point for point. So I would definitely lean over. This could be an overtime game too, so that leans towards the over also.
Yes, it does. It certainly does. Interesting. Okay, the over, believing in that overlooking. I like these first two looks that you are on. Have you taken a look? I'm sure you've taken a look. Is there anything that's jumped out at you on this Giant Saturday NCAA football card, Ragu?
I was looking at what Drew was saying about the UNLV. That was a team I was really down on early in the season, but they've played a couple of good solid games on the defensive side. I know it's a pretty decent sized number for Fresno to cover, but I don't know. I think 13.5, 14 points, maybe too many points there for the Friday night game, anyways. But that's a look I was looking at. Not a play; it was more like a lean. But I was what I try to do is I try to look at numbers that I think are a little bit off early in the week as far as dogs go, to kind of get a jump ahead of the market. And another one I like is this Maryland Terrapins. They're taking on Indiana. They're playing at home, and I think they're getting 3.5. That might be a dog play for me. I like to look at Maryland getting 3.5 at home. And another dog I was looking at was NC State Wolfpack taking on Boston College. At Boston College, they can score points. They can run the same type of schemes that North Carolina can. And I think that might be a good overlook. And then if you like the over in that game, you got to like Boston College plus the points there. So small dogs with a big return, I think, if you want to maybe look at correlating some totals and sides, look at Maryland plus the points and possibly over, and also Boston College plus the points and over at home.
I like those looks, and I am feverishly writing notes. Big Ragu. Question here. So Boston College plus. We've had a lot of questions and talk about this.
Too bad. I think that's another case up or down to their competition's level. So I don't see Penn State really blowing them out here. I mean, I would figure if they were going to Happy Valley and as good as Penn State's supposed to have been and bad as Michigan is, how come that number is not a bigger number?
I agree with that, but we lost internet for a little while there, Ragu, and we're back, right? Okay, we lost internet for almost all of that, Ragu, sadly, but we are back, and what you were saying was very, 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 very interesting. So so we are back in action. Let's go back to it, Ragu. Let's break this down one more time. Michigan, Penn State, because I love what you were saying.
Okay, so what I was saying basically is that Penn State has a way outside of the cupcakes that they played, the competition they've played either up or down to their level, mostly down because the opponents they're playing is a little inferior. But and Michigan at the same time, I usually like backing them when they're a dog in lieu of playing them as a favorite. They've had their offensive challenges, but now they're going to Happy Valley, which is a tough place to play. And I think that Michigan could hang around because if Penn State was such a greatest team as they're supposed to be, now they crept into the top 10, they're number 7. That number in my book should be a bigger number for a team that's that much more superior to a team that's coming into the opponent. So that line tells me that game is going to be less than a 2-score game, and Michigan could possibly hang around. They're not probably going to beat them, but it might be like, it's say, a 3 or 4 or 6-point game. I think more than a touchdown is too much for them to cover in Happy Valley. If they were that better of a team, that number should be a little stronger in my book. So I would definitely lean with Michigan.
Yeah, I get it. And if you were to do that, you'd be in good company with Prince of the City and Topset in the house. I like it. Northwestern from Ragu, Syracuse plus the points, Maryland, Boston College are dogs that he's interested in. Is there anything else that you're interested in on this Saturday, or do we need to stay tuned for your appearance on the show on Friday to hear what you've locked in?
Yeah, stay tuned because I know when we did the pick six, we made an early recording this week, and I liked Wake Forest, which I still gave that out on Saturday. And there was a couple looks that I kind of added in, like I jumped on Nevada later in the week, and then I got off of a game which you and I talked about, and I seen you back that game. So as I didn't play that game, even though I said I liked it early in the week. So I don't want to give too many early looks in the week because I don't want to stain my record. But I want to give the sharper plays later in the week.
I hear that. Dom, why do you keep saying Dom in the chat? Big Ragu in the house. Big Ragu like in the under in Monday Night Football, like in the second half +3 in the NLCS. Big Ragu, thank you so much for joining us. Follow this man on Twitter. He's handing out winners all week long at Big Ragu 62. Big Ragu 62. Big Ragu, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Can't wait to do the Pick 6 show with you in the middle of the week and then have you back here on Friday. Thank you so much, my friend.
Hey, always a pleasure. But one last thing, keep grinding, guys, because you know what happens. Like I was like 1,800 plays, 1,700 something 2 weeks ago. I crept up into the twos already, so I'm coming at you. Look out.
There he is, the Big Ragu in the house. And I've got to go start live betting this big Monday Night Football game, making moves. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to handle things at this point. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle things at this point. I am on the over 45. I bet it at 45.5. It's pretty much a free roll after cashing that under. But let's see what our guy Freddie Fortune is on. Please welcome to the show a man beloved by some, hated by Flash, Freddie Fortune.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I fucked up many times.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Floorball play.
Floorball.
Floorball.
Swedish floorball.
Yes.
All right. The Swedes know
Is
floorball.
it?
Sorry?
Aren't they called?
Yeah, they're called Sweds.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pronounced Swed, actually, the country. All right. Skipping now. Yeah, it is skipping. We are. Oh, we're back. We're back.
Let me check on the computer.
Okay. We've had a couple sips there. I'm often saying rats to Freddie Nor.
No, it's the connection is kinda.
Yeah, it's kind of dicey.
Yeah.
Kind of dicey.
I like that word.
Okay. So Freddie going to sweet. Freddie.
Yeah,
The Kenyan will bomb out.
I hate me.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, probably something. But
Too much crack. I
guess what?
That's my first time for the Vipsby IK.
Wow. And are you truly successful with floorball?
It's my first time, so we'll see.
All right. I can tell you that I won't.
I like to try new things. There's a Vietnamese restaurant near La Sabana.
Yeah.
So I love eating that place. It's called Van Mi. You should go.
You know, I should go, and I will.